What's going on, guys? Rivero here. Welcome to another update video. Here we go. So first off, we have Dompe's Grave, the race you have to do to obtain this Hookshot, which is now a thing. The Hookshot has now been created. So let's go ahead and check that out before this guy gets us. So we'll go ahead and finish the race once real quick. We'll get away, run around. There are now rupees in the area, like in the game. There are also redeads that you can find in this, as you can see over there. So you do want to be careful about not going the wrong way. Hopefully we're not too late. Uh-oh. Come on, just in time. Ooh! Barely. Alright. So there we go. The Hookshot. We got some text saying what it is, and it's a little annoying because Dompe says the exact same thing that happens when you actually get it from the chest, but oh well. So, as you can see, we can't really hook onto anything in here, but if we go over here to get out of here so we can actually test it out, we play the Song of Time, and it removes the blocks. If we can get to an area where we can reach a rooftop, and we shoot it, we can get over to the roof. Nice. Same thing for these boxes. These boxes you can hookshot onto. And I think it turned out really well. I'm really happy with how this hookshot works. Especially with kind of the cutscene that takes you over to it instead of just teleporting you instantly. So another thing you can do, not quite like in the game, as long as it's in the actual box of what you can hookshot onto, it will grab on. So you can reach the roofs from places that you wouldn't really be able to reach from the game, but otherwise it still isn't that overpowered. Another thing is you can't shoot it when you're in the air. You can try, but it doesn't work. Just for a quick tutorial on how I actually got this to work for certain places and not others, we have structure voids, which you can test for if something is in that block rather than just air. So if the hookshot hooks onto anything like this, these little structure blocks right here, then it will latch on and hook the player to it. For other places such as these, since they have carpet, I just have it test for if the hookshot is on carpet and then teleport it. This only applies to this area and maybe other areas if you can hookshot on the carpet there. On to the next thing. We have a lot to show off in Kokiri Forest. Not all of it specifies directly to this place, but it is all available to show off here. So first off, other than Saria over there, ignore that. That's just she's only there because we haven't actually gone through the child portion yet, and we are kind of just skipping straight to the adult. So it's a little weird. That won't happen in the actual game, though. This is what the Kokiri Forest looks like when you're an adult. Ignore the fact that I'm using the Kokiri sword. You also may notice some different changes, like these fences right here are now jungle fences. Anywhere that you see jungle fences, you are allowed to hookshot onto them. And we also have extra tutorials for other things, such as the Deku Stick, Deku Nuts, and so on. You may also notice that some of the signs are now dark oak, and others are either just normal oak still, or are even colored. This is because you can break signs now. Wow. Kind of a useless thing, but also cool to recreate just like in the game. Anytime you enter a different place, you can do it again. Took a little bit of time, but nothing too crazy. So obviously you can't destroy the dark oak ones, but you can with the oak ones. There is a lot of different dialogue too. You can talk to all the know-it-all brothers and all the other NPCs. They have different things to say. Since you are now an adult, going through this hole is not possible anymore, which I better show real quick. I don't think I've shown this in a video yet. The hole is now something you can actually crawl under and through. I do this by filling a trapdoor that is invisible above the player. That way it forces them down one block without making them take damage. This makes it a lot more realistic feeling and a lot better than just having to teleport the player. Now for some more really minor but really helpful details. Boom. Boom. Wait. There we go. Look at that. You can now cut the grass and get money. Pretty much all of the dispensers and chests have now been replaced with the ability to actually break stuff. So these rocks, for example, you can now pick them up and throw them, and they will give you items. Since we don't have all the upgrades, you might see that things appear for a second, but we just can't pick those up yet. So as you saw by the heart, it just appeared, and then we could pick it up. And of course, anytime you go through a different place, all the grass and rocks regenerate, so you can do the whole process over again and get more money. This also applies to the regenerating grass that was in the game. If we break a plant and wait a little bit, it regenerates. The last thing that I've yet to show that involves the type of rocks and grass and stuff is pots. If we can get into Link's house. So as you can see, there's a pot over here, and if you looked closely there, we did get a heart. Let's try that again. Yep. So a heart can be obtained from this pot in specific. Others are randomized, some are specific to certain items like this one. And yeah, there are still a few places where items are just in chests just because they'd normally be floating physically in the air, and I don't want to put floating items here for fear that they might, like, they won't despawn if I do the right thing, but I don't like the idea of them just sitting there because I might do like a /kill items command and that would remove them, and I wouldn't really have an easy way of replacing them. So all these different little additions make everything a lot more Zelda feeling, which is really nice. I'm very happy with having everything actually like usable now, instead of just adding containers everywhere. Very nice and fleshed out now. Next up we have a cutscene. It's a little broken since, like I said, we went through the adult phase before we're going through the child phase. There we go. So we can talk to Mito. He doesn't trust us, but if we play Saria's song, it'll be like that medley. I promise Saria, blah blah blah. So after a second, he will let us pass. There we go. Oh, I went the wrong way. You also might notice that some of the grass can, in fact, contain bugs. If you had a bottle, you'd be able to pick it up. Next up is a new enemy. The Spear Moblin, or just the Moblin. So as soon as he sees you in his line of sight, he will attack you and push you against whatever wall shows up. You can activate him and get away just in time, or if you're too late, he will hit you against the wall. Unlike in the game, you can get past him if you really try hard, but if you do get in the water, it will be very hard to get out of it. So you'll have to wait for him to walk up, turn around, and then that'll be your chance to kill him. Or just kill him right then. So the idea is you want to kill them when they're not attacking, because otherwise it will not work. As you can see here. Another option is using the Hookshot from the corner to shoot him. I'm extremely happy with how the model turned out. I feel like it was really well... I feel like it turned out really well, basically. And the next enemy. This is the final enemy so far that I've created for this update. So since you can't really put animations on block models, I just gotta do the best with what I have, and that is to rotate the Club Moblin in the direction that he's swinging, just to give it that feel that he is actually swinging it down. So you want him to hit a certain direction and get away before he hits you. And if he does hit you, then you get pushed all the way back. Ah! Just like that. And once you get behind him, 2 or 3 hits will kill him. And here we are at another cutscene. We have Sheik shows up. We have Sheik shows up. Shows up Sheik. Not sure why she's not speaking. Oh, it's because the Mito cutscene messed up. So we can talk to Sheik. The flow of time is always cruel, blah blah blah. And then he has us learn the Minuet of Forest. And then gone. And then the normal music plays again, and we can go into the dungeon. And that's basically all I have so far. There's a few more things I guess I can show off, but otherwise everything from here on is not finished. And here is where you can locate the first small key you find. So there's no cutscene here yet for the fire things being stolen, but we do have an example of a locked door, and this is where we're going to end it off pretty much. So you right click the door and it says it's locked. And it doesn't open unless we have a key. If we right click the door, we have a little interface here, I guess. And if we put the key in there, that's when it unlocks the door. I have not created that part yet. As you can tell, it doesn't open up yet, and it still says it's locked even after putting the key in. But I will be getting to that. So the way this one works is, if you can see right here, it's called a smoker, so it's that furnace for food. And yeah, it's literally just a door. So the only problem with this is that the bottom half, whichever block that you place it on, is the part that says the door is locked. The other half you can't actually interact with. But that is pretty much the only downside. The rest about it works perfectly fine. And the reason it says the door is locked instead of smoker is locked is because I renamed the smoker in an anvil to make it say door, which worked out really well. And if we look up here too, instead of saying smoker, it just says door. But that's all that I have so far. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next update video.